Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is brought to you by all the people, all the lovely people on my email list who, when I suggested the idea of this video, you guys replied and said yes very enthusiastically. So here it is. Thank you so much for your responses, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. So if you've been with me on this channel for a while, you may remember that back in 2016, I started a video series called #gratitude with 2 T's. And I know at first glance, most people think it's a typo, but really it stands for living with an attitude of gratitude. And I wanted to kind of do my take of a favorites video, but less about just new products every month. But I really wanted to share things that were already in my life that were bringing me joy and adding value to my life. So back in 2016, for each video, I had like a different theme going on. Like I think I had like a travel essentials and then things that are in my purse that I really like, or cleaning tools, I think. Anyway, I'll link the playlist up above if you wanted to go watch the old ones. I did go through a few just to, revisit my old content, and it was very strange to see myself from 3 years ago. She just looks so young. So what started out as the video series, it later evolved into a weekly newsletter. So these are my gratitude newsletters I send out every Fridays. And in it, I share 5 things that I enjoyed, appreciated, or discovered in a given week. And whatever topics in there, they're super random. They're anything from like conversations I've had with friends or podcasts I'm listening to, like my favorite spice in the kitchen. Like they're super random. The first one was sent out in June 2018, and in total I have sent out 60 of these emails, and I'm still so floored by the responses I get and how much you guys love them. So many of you have written to tell me that you have built my emails into your Friday morning routines. So I just think I'm so honored that I get to be a part of that. I'm hoping to be able to show you guys things like on video that sometimes I don't just want to write about, like I want to tell you. So there's that. If you enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing to my email list. The link is down below, and that way you will get like content like this just in written form into your email inbox every Fridays. So let's start off with this first one. I have been wanting to talk about this for weeks now, and it is this hair tie. So CrossFit is my main form of working out, and one of the questions that I ask most frequently to other women at the gym are, how do you guys keep your hair up? Like, do you do anything special? Because for movements such as burpees, jump roping, running, I always find that mid-movement, I'm constantly retying my hair. And sometimes when I tie it really tight and then I take the hair tie out to retie it, I end up like pulling my hair, or things just don't stay in place. And seriously, almost every woman that I've asked, they always tell me something along the lines of, oh yeah, I have to use like 3 to 4 different hair ties and all these bobby pins and all this stuff. Like no one had like one solution for me that I was like, oh yeah, I want to try that. So I was on Instagram one day, and it just popped up as an ad on my feed. I was so drawn to this hair tie because when I went into the website, they were marketing themselves as a performance-driven hair tie. I've seen video clips of girls like tying their hair with this and like just moving their head really like fiercely, or I think there were a lot of athletes on their feet. So I thought like, oh my gosh, I'm intrigued by that. And the interesting thing is, the reason it looks like this is because these hair ties are customizable. So for my hair is pretty fine, but I do have a lot of hair, or that's what I've always been told by hairstylists or anyone that really like puts my hair back and just holds it in their hand. You can buy the basic hair tie or the pro, and basically with the pro, it comes in this like clear case, and then you pull out the hair tie for the length that you want. So obviously if you're making a 1 loop hair tie, you need less material versus if you have thick hair and you need to make 3 loops. So basically you pull out how much you need, and then in the case, if you press something, it's like there's like a built-in blade in it, so it cuts it for you. And then they show you like little gifs of how to tie it to make the hair tie that you need. For me personally, I wasn't interested in the pro because once I make my hair ties, I just felt like, what was I gonna do with that case, So I went for the basic. Actually, you're in luck because I like this so much that I placed an order for more. So here's how they come. This is the little envelope it comes in. And here is the basic package. It's just 34 inches of the hair tie. You just measure it out, you cut it, and then, you know, you do the loops and you tie it. I made 2 hair ties, one for me and one for my husband, because now, you know, he's always tying his hair. He also has the issue of like fine hair but a lot of hair, and during certain like CrossFit workouts, like his hair tie doesn't stay in place either. So we're on the same boat. What I really love about these hair ties is that no matter how tight I tie it, the feeling of it like pulling and like tugging my hair from my scalp and giving me a headache, that is almost non-existent to very, very minimal. So sometimes, like, I think if I do tie my hair kind of quickly, aggressively, and then I pull on my ponytail to make it tight, I can feel a little bit of that, but it is significantly less than any other hair tie that I've used. So one hair tie is supposed to last many months. If you look on their website, I think it explains what material it's made of, and I quote, it says it's like virtually indestructible. And I saw that, and then I saw a video on their Instagram of a guy who took the material, who took this hair tie, tied it around a pull-up bar, and then he was doing pull-ups with these hair ties, and he was going up and down, and it didn't snap. So I think that was the thing that really pushed me over the edge to place my order. If you are someone that's looking for a hair tie that you can customize to the amount of hair you have, I recommend giving these a try. There are so many colors available on their website, and I think if the more you buy, you can get it at a discounted rate. So the next 3 things are things that I have really appreciated having in my kitchen. So I'm actually going to take you guys over there to show you what they are. Okay, so for this next one, we have been looking to replace our ice cube tray, the one that came with our place, because there were a few cracks in some of them. And when we forgot which ones had the cracks, then we'd like pour in the water and it would leak out. It was really annoying. So we were looking for one that had a cover on top. So this is from the brand OXO, which is just one of my favorite brands, not just in the kitchen, but for many other things as well. And we have a pretty small freezer. So we wanted one with a cover because in the event that it does fall out, like, we didn't want ice cubes going everywhere. And so I found this on Amazon, and I freaking love this. So this lid here, it's made of silicone. Basically, you just fill it up like you would, and then you take this and you press it down over the sink and you seal it. And then whatever water is sitting on the edge, it just like pours out into the sink. And then you stick this in your freezer, and you can even tilt it up to 45 degrees if that's all the room that you have in your freezer. And then when the ice cubes are frozen, what I love is that it's so satisfying to remove these cubes. Ready? So what you do is just press one side and they just pop right out. So no more like, you know, doing this side to side and then like having to dig your nails into a corner of one. You just press and it comes out. It's so satisfying. And every time we reach in the freezer to get ice cubes, like, we're both so happy. Okay, so the next one is another kitchen goodie, and this is something I picked up on a whim, and it continues to be one of my favorite finds. So I love having fruit that is washed and ready to eat when it's mealtime, instead of me having to wash it each and every time. So for grapes, for example, that's one fruit that I've been eating a lot of. And what I used to do is we would buy like a ton of grapes at Costco, and then I would wash it in one sitting, and then before putting them away, I would then take it out, drain it, and like use a dish towel to soak up the excess water. And all those steps, it was just really annoying. And then I had to do dishes for the bowl that I washed the fruit in. So I randomly saw this at TJ Maxx, and it's kind of sad looking right now because we're running out of fruit. But basically it comes in this is a plastic container. These 2 berry baskets, but they're also plastic. And this is so nostalgic for me. It reminds me of like, you know, when you go to a supermarket or like a farmer's market and they give you berries in one of those, like, it's usually made of cardboard. You know what I mean? So since having this this has become like my one-stop shop in terms of like washing and storing. So instead of pulling out like a big bowl to wash the grapes in, I just take out the berry baskets from here. I put the grapes in here. I fill it up with water and vinegar, and then I let it sit in the sink for a little bit. I swish it around, and then I drain the majority of the water, and then I pull out the grapes and I put them into the little berry baskets. And because they have the holes in the bottom, the water will drain out, and then I can just place them in here, and I don't have to worry about the grapes sitting in like a pool of their water. Well, not as much. And then I pop on the lid and I stick it in the fridge, and it is so easy. And this is another thing where every time we open the fridge and we have to get our fruit, like, it makes both of us so happy. Unfortunately, there's no branding on this. Oh man. So I don't know who makes it. And I found it like, you know, when you check out of a store like Sephora, you know, the Aisle of Doom or whatever, like right before you pay at the cash wraps, there's all those little things. This was one of those things that was just hanging out at TJ Maxx. I think I went in for a sports bra. I saw this and it was like $6, and I liked the idea of it, so I decided to get it, and I love this purchase. Those are my grapes. And then here's the lid that it comes with. And into the fridge it goes. So I'm filming this part a day after the previous clip because I thought one of my the ingredients that I needed to show you one of my favorite meals we didn't have any more of. But this morning Brandon found it in our pantry, so I'm so excited about it. I mostly eat whole foods for most of my meals. I eat 4 meals a day, and each one is very time specific. So because of the diet that I'm on right now, there's only so much of each macronutrient I can have, so carbs, fats, and protein, and sardines and rice. Like, if you guys have been subscribed to my gratitude newsletters for a while, I'm sure that I have talked about it there. I might have even mentioned it in another vlog or something, but yeah, sardines and rice, it's so good. But because of my diet, I'm really allowed to have like maybe 2 tablespoons of rice. It's so sad. And then Brandon came home with this one day. So this is the ingredient that I thought I was out of. So this is the brand Nature's Earthly Choice, and it's a microwavable cauliflower rice. I really prefer this because we've bought frozen cauliflower in the past, and I don't like that. Even after you cook it, it's like really watery. And when I add the sardines and all the other stuff, I don't like how liquidy it is. And then there's no way that I'm going to buy cauliflower and chop it up and put it through a food processor. Hell no. So remember, we're going for easy, convenient, delicious, and healthy, and this meal checks all those boxes. So it's super easy. You just open this up like 2 inches, and I'm gonna stick it into the microwave for 90 seconds. So while that's cooking, I'm gonna show you what else goes in. So the other main thing is sardines and rice. So you need sardines. This is the brand that we always get. When we lived in Korea, we ate a lot of the Wild Planet brand. That's also really good. It's a little bit more expensive. Yeah, I mean, we get like a bunch of this at Costco, and it's just the one in olive oil, okay? So a can of this, Thai chili. So this is the packet that I get. I get this from Amazon. I've also definitely talked about this in a gratitude newsletter. I put this on everything. It's so good. It's really spicy, so you don't need very much. The other star of this recipe is this hot sauce. We have gone through many bottles of this in our household. This is one of our favorites, also very spicy, and we like to drizzle this on top and then mix it in with the sardines and rice. And then for kake, we have like 4 different kinds in our house right now because we're trying to see which one we like best. I haven't tried this one yet, but this meal, the sardines and rice, you guys, Brandon eats maybe like 3-4 times a week. It's one of his favorites. And lastly, seaweed. So this is what you're going to wrap the sardine and rice in for each bite. You don't have to do this, but this does really take it to the next level. All right, so I'm going to assemble this right now because it's time to eat. Okay, so first the cauliflower rice. What's so amazing is that I get to eat so much of this, which is really exciting. I thought that for the duration of my diet, I wouldn't be able to have this meal, which is one of my favorites, because it's almost not worth it when you can only have 2 tablespoons of rice. So if you see that it's this is a big bowl, so this is quite the amount. Then we're going to open up the sardines, and I don't drain the olive oil that's in here. It just goes straight into the cauliflower rice. Oh yeah, you gotta be careful because I just spilled some olive oil on our mini island. Okay, so I just pour that in. I'm just gonna break up the sardines a little bit so we don't have chunks that are much bigger than the others, and I'm just gonna mix it around. When my parents were visiting us here on Maui last year, we fed them sardines and rice, and it was so good. And my mom really loved it with some hot chili peppers, like actual peppers, not the flakes. Then I'm gonna take my favorite hot sauce. I'm just gonna drizzle it. Actually, I do a little bit in the beginning, but as I'm eating, I definitely add more. Then mix that in. Chili pepper. You may be wondering why I don't just add everything and mix it in. I too am wondering that right now. Last thing I'm adding in here is this. And this is another one that I keep adding as I go. So I'm just gonna sprinkle it like so. And then the seaweed. So here's what it looks like up close. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to eat it. So the first bite I always like to eat just without the seaweed, because I want to see how spicy it is. Mmm. Oh my gosh, so good. I would actually add more hot sauce. We're going to take a seaweed bite. And then I wrap it in here. So the only thing is, with rice, it sticks to the seaweed, but the cauliflower rice, it doesn't really. So it's a little bit trickier, but oh my god, it's so good. You guys have to try this. Okay, I like to eat this while it's really, really hot, so I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna go sit on my seat, and I'm gonna eat. And lastly, I have a YouTube recommendation. This channel is one that I came across a few months ago, and the woman behind the channel, her name is Hannah. She is just incredible and one of the most interesting people that I've found on this space. So what I know about Hannah is that she is a writer. She is also a tango dancer and a tango instructor. She also has a small business where I think she creates tango apparel and sells them. So she has a small business, and she's a lover of beauty products. So Hannah started her YouTube channel either at the end of 2017 or at the beginning of 2018 because she really wanted to, she was really wrestling with her shopping addiction, and she wanted to go on a no buy year, which means like no shopping for a year, and then she wanted to document it and share her journey, which is so cool because you guys might remember back in 2016 I too went on, I think a 90-day shopping ban. I think it was 90 days. Yeah, inspired by my friend Lauren, who was blogging about it. She was also on a shopping ban. I learned about it from her, and she learned about it from a blogger whose name I can't remember right now. Anyway, so I love this concept of her just giving us updates on what her no-buy year is like. She had very specific guidelines in terms of what she is allowed to purchase. So just off the top of my head, I remember her talking about how in order for her to buy a replacement of anything, she has to be out of all the products in that given category. So because she's such a lover of beauty products, if she, for example, had like 6 different facial cleansers in her collection, during her no-buy year, she would have to go through all those products before she could buy a replacement. And I think one of her other rules is that she can't buy things to have as backup replacements. Is that right? I think that's right. Her videos are really organized. She had like fun little series that she did every month. So I know she had a monthly favorites, but she showcased things from her current collection. She did monthly check-ins to kind of talk about like her feelings about certain products or like what she's learned about herself during her during the given month. I think she had a monthly video called like Shop My Stash, where basically she goes through all of her products and then she picks out certain things that she's going to use that month, and she talks about that as well. And then she did this for a whole year. So if you go to her channel, you can watch like every single month in 2018. My gosh, she's like one of the most articulate people that I've ever known. And just watching her, I don't know her, just watching her videos. And I'm just so impressed by how intelligibly she speaks about like eyeshadows or the things that she loves. She just has such an interesting way of talking. Like I get lost listening to her. Like I'm just so mesmerized by her vocabulary and the way that she describes things. And she really like takes you on her journey with you. So after her no buy year was up in 2018, starting 2019, I think this year is about her having a beauty budget. So now every month she has $200 that she has budgeted for all beauty things. So it's not just like makeup and skincare, but also I know she's big into like homeware stuff. That's also included in her budget. I think plants are also in there. I know she also loves plants. So yeah, she basically breaks down month to month like how she's spending her budget, what's worth it to her to buy. She has this video series, I think. It's called Hannah's Reckoning. I love the concept of it because what happens is, she's getting stuff in PR. She's also getting products from friends and, subscribers. And so she does this thing where she reckons with products. So instead of just taking all the new stuff and immediately adding it to her collection, for a set number of times, she's playing with these products and she's experimenting with them and really seeing if these will eventually make it into her permanent collection. And she has videos where she shows you the products and she shares all her thoughts, and she's just so intelligent. I think she's so quirky and she has such a unique and distinct taste. And the interesting thing is, a lot of the products that she talks about, they're honestly products that I would never be interested in. And like her love for eyeshadows, even like the editorial looks that she wears. You guys know me, like I'm very, I don't want to say plain, but I'm very simple with my makeup. And so for a lot of reasons, like you would think watching these videos, it's like, well, I'm not a tango dancer, I'm not a writer, I'm not into eyeshadow, but she just has this intrigue about her. And like, I don't even care if she's like talking about not Bed Bath and Beyond. I always confuse Bed Bath and Beyond and Bath and Body Works. Okay, so she could be like going on and on and on talking about Bath and Body Work candles, which I have zero interest in, but I will still sit there and just listen to her explain stuff. Like that's how good she is. So yeah, her channel is one that I very much appreciate in this YouTube space. I gotta be honest, it's really hard to watch a lot of other YouTubers after seeing her content. Her stuff is so rich and there's just so much depth. So if you are struggling with overspending, overshopping, even if you're not, I would highly recommend her channel to you, just because I feel like with every video, you kind of walk away like just questioning and thinking about all your own purchases and the things that you own. So one thing that I actually do that's really fun for me is when I watch Hannah's videos, sometimes I'll open up my drawer at my desk, and this is something that I do anyway, and I love that she does this. She does this thing called makeup playtime, where she just plays with the makeup in her collection, like mainly her eyeshadows and stuff. She does like all these swatches and she moves around single eyeshadows to make her own palettes and everything. And while I only own one eyeshadow palette, I do like love my lip products. And sometimes when I just want to like go online and see what new products I can purchase or what I'm interested in, I'll just sit here, watch one of Hannah's videos, pull out my lipsticks and just play with them. It always leaves me feeling so much love for all the beautiful things that I own. So I really appreciate Hannah for that. Also, this is just my suggestion, but I would recommend you start with her very first video. It's called Introducing My No Buy Year. And okay, so her first video was on January 14th, 2018. So yeah, start there and then just keep watching. And yeah, let me know what you think. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, consider signing up for my email list down below. I share content like this 5 different things every single week, and it is delivered straight into your email inbox on Fridays. And on that note, if there is anything that you really enjoyed or appreciated, something in your life, it doesn't have to be a material thing, it could be really anything you want that you appreciated in the month of August. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.